Hey guys, it's Zan,
This is Justin.
and we're from Aiee. Welcome to our new show called Otaku Talk. This is a show where we're gonna like watch some anime series that maybe aren't that long, and yeah, we're pretty much after we watch it, we're gonna like talk about it in in a video. Did I mess up again?
Nah, let's keep going. Keep rolling.
Okay, we're talk about the anime series, what we like about it, and what the story and everything, all that.
We're
And
gonna give you our feedback, ideas and information on the series and what we think about it. And if you want, tell us how dumb and stupid we are in the comments.
yeah, and don't worry, you can still watch the show even though you haven't watched the anime that we're gonna be talking about, because we're in the first section. It's gonna be non-spoilers, and then later on, it's gonna be spoilers. So we're gonna treat it as if you already watched it and you're gonna know like what we're talking about. So yeah, we're gonna kick it off. Kick this the very first episode off with the anime called "The Devil Is a Part Timer."
And what did you think about this one, Ann?
Well, I think we should try to talk about the main plot real quick. Do you want you want to try to talk about it, or you want me to do it?
Yeah, let me try to get wrap my hands on this thing and tell me how wrong I am.
Okay.
So
You're wrong.
so it's actually based on this like on another plane of existence, right? So let's see, it was called Ente Isla.
Yeah.
And so you got the demon lord, who is named Satan, and his four generals, and they're waging war on with the humans of Ente Isla, but they're being attacked, and for some reason they have to back off because the humans have a hero who is able to defeat the dark magic that Satan and his four demon generals have, and they make their way to modern day Tokyo, and where they take on the appearance of normal humans, and it's pretty much from there on out. It kind of just them trying to survive in the human world.
Yeah, like friggin' the one thing I really like about this anime is that when you hear about people going to a different world, right, you would usually have to go through with them, like learning everything and making like stupid mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you always have to sit through like, oh yeah, like it's funny because they don't know what that is. They don't know it's a car, but we know it's a car, so that's why it's funny. And like you would have to go through episodes of them being clueless about our world. But what I really like about this anime is that you don't really have to see that. Like right off the bat, within the very first episode, they pretty much got everything down. They already know like pretty much everything in the Mon world. But
yeah.
they still like have those moments where they're kind of clueless. Like when they friggin' try a new drink, for instance, they'd be all dramatic about it. They'd be like, "Oh no, this is dangerous. We're up in something bad," And the same thing when they're going to a bathhouse. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. Like you said, we didn't have to like do that whole we're learning as they're learning kind of thing. They kind of skim over that pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, which can get pretty tiring, especially if you watch a lot of anime or play video games or anything in that general. You just want to skip that stupid stuff and just get straight.
Yeah.
And the devil is a part timer is pretty good at that. One of my favorite parts is when he actually I believe it was in one of the first couple episodes, he finally gets his job.
Yeah.
and the apartment where they it's just hilarious, the whole building up to that point.
It's a really shitty apartment.
Yeah, it's really crappy, and they call it their castle.
Yeah.
It's a one bedroom apartment. So or no, it's not even one bedroom. It's a studio apartment.
Yeah.
So the only other room in this entire apartment is a is the restroom.
Yeah. And it does.
And you have to think too. This is like your typical Japanese apartment, so it doesn't even have a bath. It's pretty much just a toilet in this room.
Yeah, but it's funny to think that like the this big Lord Satan, he moved on to a big castle and moved on to this little small apartment, but they still call it their castle, you know. And he's pretty much at first he's pretty much like just like living there with his one of his advisors, which is and I think my favorite character is the advisor because like he still kind of talks in the same way as he would back in the other world.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty funny. What's his name?
Like his name is Shiro.
Asya.
Yeah.
Is it Asya?
I think so. Yeah.
And it was pretty funny, and I love yeah, okay, so I forgot to mention this, when they go into the human world, they obviously know that they shouldn't use their names because they realize that their names are off-putting to standard humans, and so they come up with new names for themselves, like and one of them is Satan comes up with Sato Mao, and I forget exactly where it is. I do know that the name is supposed to be similar to Satan. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
You know that's why I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know why people in the show is all like that's a weird name.
Yeah, in the entire show, because like even the hero, I forget her name.
Emmy?
She's the female lead of the show.
Yeah, like you're talking about Emmy.
Yes.
She's the one, like she's the hero pretty much.
Yeah, the hero Amelia.
Yeah.
The hero Amelia. Yeah, she's the female lead. She's like, oh, I can't believe you chose that as your name. No one even uses that anymore.
Yeah. Even though her name is pretty much like her original name. It's just like her original name is Amelia, but her new name is just Emmy.
Yeah.
And like
So you said Ashia is the human name of Asael.
yeah.
So you said that was your favorite character?
Yeah, that's my favorite character.
I love how in most of the series he's pretty much like the housewife.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty sad because he admits that too. He's like, I'm pretty much just a freaking housewife, dude.
My favorite character in the show is Lucifer. And just let me point this out: Lucifer and Satan are two completely different people in this series.
Yeah.
It's really cool how they differentiate the two characters too. But my favorite, I don't know, I like him because he's like he's kind of like a hikimori, a shut in.
Yeah.
Doesn't like to leave the apartment. I don't think he once leaves that apartment. No, in the entire show.
Cause like Lucifer, every time in every episode, you always just see him on the computer, pretty much.
Yeah, him buying some stuff.
Yeah.
Like video games.
Is it me or is it like? I think I should go back and watch the series again. But is it like the first time he was there, they had just a laptop, but as the series goes on, he has more stuff for a laptop, like speakers and like.
Now that I think about it, I kind of remember, yeah, because I think he just had a laptop, and then as the series goes on, he gets like more attachments.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and double check that.
Yeah. I kind of noticed that. I was like, is he just buying all these things with their money?
So they introduce like a bunch. There's like a bunch of more characters, but like a lot of them don't really play pivotal roles. So I mean, the main cast is Satan, Asael, the hero Amelia,
that one girl,
Lucifer, and then
Chiho.
Chiho. Yeah.
Yeah, the girl who did we say that Satan's working at McDonald's?
Yeah,
Did we point that out?
Instead of McDonald's, it's McRonald's.
Yeah, friggin'. And I love how like he pretty much saying he's working at McDonald's. He's trying to become the best, and every time he talks about becoming the best, he's always like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the best one, like McDonald's. I'm gonna like rule this world with McDonald's.
Yeah, like he's completely forgotten about how the state or his kingdom back in the other world works, and now he's all obsessed with like making the number one sale quotas
Yeah, yeah, pretty
in his
much.
district. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. I know it sounds stupid, but the way that they go about talking about it, it's just
Yeah,
it's pretty hilarious because it does pretty well that it's you think that it's going to be a fantasy or or a comedy, like one of those dumb fantasy comedies. I mean, me personally, I'm not a big fan of those type of animes, but I'm more of a slice of life kind of guy, and they do really good at balancing those
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's episodes where they worry about making rent or paying
yeah.
and not on the fact that they're being attacked by some interdimensional demon or something
Yeah.
like that.
We should point out that like, if people are gonna watch this anime, they shouldn't expect like just like a straight up action anime. It's mostly like every episode is mostly like comedy and drama, and there's sometimes there like cool fights and everything, but it's mainly focused on like them just living their lives in the modern day, and like
Yeah,
maybe funny hijinks happens once in a while.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty much them exploring their relationships with each other, and like I said, it's slice of life, which is what is one of my favorite genres
Yeah.
in anime in this entire media form.
Yeah. I want to talk about the character Chiho and how friggin' she has like a big crush on Satan, and like and with Satan he's like one of those people in animes where the person who has a crush on them makes it so obvious, but Satan's all like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, you want me to hold your hand? Oh, that's cool, you know.
It's one of those cliche moments in anime, but every anime is going to have at least one cliche to it. But
Yeah,
no, they kind of do it well to where he knows she has a crush on him, but he just doesn't want to. I feel like he doesn't want her to get involved with his life. That's the kind of feelings I get from it.
yeah. They do it pretty well, and
Because
they do make it pretty funny.
it's because he's the one who says that. Well, never mind, because we'll get to that in the spoilers segment.
Yeah.
There's moments where he obviously knows how she feels about him.
Yeah, and also she's only 16 years old,
Yes.
but she's but she has some huge breasts, and
Yeah, she's the fan service of the series.
yeah, and even though she's just 16 years old, now she's not even legal yet, but she's supposed to be like the fan service.
What is the legal age and what's the age of consent in Japan?
I'm not sure, really. It might be different, so maybe that's why it's not. Maybe having a 16-year-old to be the sex appeal, maybe that's why it's not that creepy in Japan. But I thought it was kind of creepy. But yeah, they pretty much make her the sex appeal. It gets to the point where I don't know if it's actually a spoiler, but like it gets to the point where she likes Satan so much that she was willing to like kind of show her cleavage with the bikini, and to me, I thought I was like, okay, but she's still 16, so.
So uh, would you read the manga for this series at all?
Oh no, I haven't. No, I haven't read it at all. Have you?
Well, I mean, would you though? I mean,
Oh, would I? Oh yeah, I totally would. I would totally read it because I like the anime, and like I always aren't like mangas usually kind of they have some different stuff in there. Like,
yeah, uh, yeah. Usually, I mean, it's a lot. One of the things I prefer. I mean, both manga and anime have their pros and cons. One of the pros to manga is that you can read at your own pace and take in the art
yeah.
at your own pace and absorb it. I believe Yen Press is going to be putting out the American version of the manga,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
and Yen Press. I I've read some manga, put out by Yen Press, but sometimes their work can be sloppy, but they also have like a bunch of good titles under their belt. So I'm kind of interested in reading the manga.
Is it gonna come out like pretty soon? Like they're gonna translate it and just like give it to North America and everything?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I do. The funny thing is, though, is that this was actually a light novel first. It was a novel series.
Wait. Well, I don't know. Well, I may know what a light novel is, but people watching this might not know what that is. So sure. Well, why don't you explain what a light novel is?
So like, I may be wrong with this, but like a light novel is pretty much like it's kind of like Target. It's a young adult. It's a young adult book. There we go.
Yeah.
And so when you think of light novels, think of the same stuff that you would with like crap. What's popular? Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. that's still
That's still hip.
right.
Yeah, that's still hip.
Like Hunger Games and stuff like that. So that's kind. I'm not sure. It's kind of like equivalent to a novella, which is not quite a novel
Mm-hmm.
because it's kind of short. It's within that couple hundred pages range right there.
So
I mean, I'm wrong. So
so a light novel would just be all words, no like pictures and everything like that.
correct. There's no
Oh, okay.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a book. There we go. It's a book.
Yeah,
It's a book. I think, and they'll do like illustrations in them every now and then. Maybe like not every couple of pages. Maybe like once every couple of chapters.
Does the images? Have you seen the images before?
Not. I haven't. I've not seen any of the images.
Oh,
with
okay.
light novels.
Because I was gonna ask if maybe if the images look similar or they look totally different to the actual anime.
I don't know. Usually, the animes will stay pretty
Similar.
similar.
Same characteristics and
I
stuff.
can't think of the word. Loyal.
Yeah.
To the original illustrator. But I haven't. I can't really say for certain since I haven't read the light novel or flipped through it or anything like that.
Yeah. I think. I think I would read the manga, and also we should point out that they only have like one season, right?
Yeah, I don't even think they've announced if it's they're going to do a second season or not. I mean, I can see why not. It's pretty funny. Everyone that I talked to that has watched it, which is probably like two other people besides you, Ann, they said they liked it. I mean, I have a lot of friends that don't like anime. They like anime, but they like the mainstream stuff, and by the mainstream stuff, I mean Gundam Wing,
Dragon Ball Z,
and Cowboy Bebop,
Naruto,
Naruto, and One Piece and stuff like that. And this is definitely one that I don't want any of my friends to overlook, just because it has, it doesn't have like a immense following or anything like that. I like it just because the story is very relaxed compared to a lot of stuff. It's one of those things that you don't have to wrap your head around a lot, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think it's one of those animes where even if you don't really, know what's going on in the story, I think you would still enjoy it and everything.
Yeah, other than the first episode, you can really watch them in any order.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. That's true.
Like, you can watch any episode in pretty much any in any order, and it still kind of makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, they do introduce characters every now and then that you don't see before, but I mean, the way that they talk to each other and stuff like that, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a TV show, like house or like
Yeah, exactly. You can pick up from anywhere.
yeah, just pick up anywhere. Like you just watch it and be like, okay, I'm cool with this. You don't have to really watch it in order.
And like it's definitely one of those ones that you don't have to worry about being ashamed of watching. I mean,
What do you mean by that?
we all have our guilty pleasures, and
Yeah, my guilty.
heavy fan service.
Yeah,
And this isn't one of them. I mean, all anime now has fan service.
my guilty pleasure is Oran High School Host Club.
Mine's a Rosero Vampire.
We should talk about those shows later on.
Yeah.
Well, you want to go to the spoiler section now?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. The first thing I want to talk about. Well, hold on. All right, we're gonna. So if y'all been watching this video for this long, we're gonna go to the spoiler section now. So, if you haven't watched the show yet, you should go watch it and then maybe come back to the video and continue watching the spoiler section. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, we're gonna talk about the spoilers now.
Yep. So,
So yeah,
stop watching and come back later.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I like the first thing I want to talk about is how I love how they had this huge ass fight with Lucifer, and like to the point where they almost killed each other. But then, right after they did that, Satan was like, "Oh, well, you have nowhere else to go, so how about you hang out with us in the apartment,
Yeah, come on, bro. I want to discuss that they haven't introduced the two of his other generals. They haven't talked about two.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he still has two generals, and Amelia still has her connections to Ante Isla.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they haven't mentioned the two other generals. So I want to know where they are.
So do both sides have their own like two generals that we haven't met yet?
You know what? You're right, because we haven't met. There's two more people on Amelia, so maybe they're saving that for the second season. But
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really interested in that. But I love how they introduced Lucifer as he's. I love how Lucifer is the fallen angel, and they separate that from Satan.
Yeah.
Because Satan, I guess Satan's always been, but
Yeah.
Lucifer is in fact a fallen angel.
Mm.
And I love how that priest dude, I forget his name.
Mr. Bully. I don't know.
Yeah, that bald Superman. I love how he uses, oh well, if you help us, we'll help you get back into heaven. And he's like, well, okay, sure, why not? I really like the show because it makes me question good and bad. Because it's like it throws in that variable to where, oh shit, maybe I'm questioning what I believe in is wrong, because the good people in this show seem like the bad people, and the bad people are really kind-hearted.
I mean, yeah, just look at friggin' Satan. Like, he's like the lord of evil, but he's like just working at McDonald's and just chilling and it's like helping people out. So yeah, I see where you're coming from.
It definitely makes you like realize it's a really good anime on covering, not everything is black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny because you wouldn't think there was that deep a message in something that's so goofy and stuff like that.
Yeah. This anime, like, it always has like people come in and you're always like, oh, they're gonna be evil, but they usually the evil people, they usually become good. I think the only person so far who went from evil to good was that bald guy, but everyone else was like, we're cool now,
I'm not sure even about that one angel who is running that chicken place.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess it seemed to me it seemed to me that he was good, I guess, because after they fought, he was like, oh yeah, I'm going back to my usual stuff now. I'm gonna fall in love with these girls again. And pretty much, like, if he was still evil, I think they was still a fun, but like in that episode where he came back, like, they didn't really do anything with him. They were like, oh yeah, he's just chilling now.
Yeah. When you first see him in that ski mask, did you think that was Lucifer?
Who?
When
Oh, when he was in that cloak and he kept on
yeah, when
attacking Amelia.
when the hero Amelia is at the convenience store and he shows up and he just attacks her. Did you think that was Lucifer?
Uh, no, I didn't. I didn't really think that was Lucifer. I thought it was like I forgot who I thought it was. I think I kind of thought it was what was her name? Suzuno, the neighbor. I kind of thought it was her at first.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I honestly thought it was Lucifer because the colors because
Oh yeah, yeah, because they're purple and everything.
yeah.
And but like I don't remember Lucifer having like a scythe and everything, and like it was before like they showed Suzuno's like actual power.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe that's her power. Like maybe her power is to like shoot beams from her eyes and use a freaking scythe.
Yeah, she uses that freaking crazy ass big mallet that she can pull from her hair.
Well, okay, we should. Well, one thing we should talk about is their relationship. So, do you really think Emmy likes Satan?
I don't know. It's like one of those things to where it's almost like a harem, but it's definitely not because she says she doesn't love him, and she has all the right reasons because her father was killed by demons
Yeah.
that were, fighting under his flag, and I could understand why she wouldn't forgive someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you can also understand why. I mean, I just I want to see more of this anime just so I can see where this is going to go.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
There's times where because I don't know who to root for either. It's like I want to root for Chiho, and I really feel like she's the one that he's going to end up with.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, she's 16 years old.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of hope he doesn't end up with her.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird. But yeah, you're talking about how you don't really know how to root for, but we're talking about relationships. But like it comes with everyone else. Like right off the back, you'd be like, oh, you would root for Emmy, but she seems like crazy and everything. It seems like Satan is just the good person, actually.
Well, you know what? It is like a harem because they throw in Christia Bell, and now I feel like she's kind of got a crush on Satan.
Yeah, yeah. Friggin' when she first showed up, I really thought she liked him.
Yeah.
Because especially freaking because when she gave him the food, she made like a heart shaped cake and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, she totally likes him. But later on, they were all like, oh no, she doesn't like him. She despises him and everything. And I was totally feeling the same way with Emmy when she found out that Christy she didn't really actually like him. She was just like, trying to seem good so she can kill him.
Yeah. I really can't wait for the series to progress more.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to read the manga. Even if it's over not legal matters. But I can't wait for them to announce like a second season.
Yeah.
I know I keep saying that, but something I wish for every time I go to sleep now.
I guess one last thing we can kind of talk about is like I thought it was weird. Like it feels like this show is really pushing that Emmy likes Satan a lot. Like they really try to push it, and I thought that because everyone else is like, oh yeah, you like him and everything. Even her coworkers like that.
Yeah.
But then it gets to the point where one of the people that was with her in the other world, like her ally, she even said, oh, it sounds like you two are a couple. And I thought that was really pushing it because since she's her ally in the other world, she should know how horrible Satan is and how much Emmy hates Satan. So when she actually pointed that out, I was like, oh, okay, this show is they really want you to think that they like each other.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can understand if they were to end, like the end point, it's like, oh, well, they get together and, good and evil is eliminated and everything is, is fine and dandy.
And then I think she does talk about it. Like I think one episode she actually thought about it. She's like, how can I like him? He killed my father. I don't know if I can forgive him for that.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I don't understand how he can be such a nice person. But there's that thing. There's another thing that if you're a king and your subordinates are doing things. I mean, you're so far up on that ladder. There's no way for you
Yeah.
telling. I'm sure she's going to understand that sooner or later in the series.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if she's ever gonna forgive him because like you Satan, he seems clueless, so he might not know like he's been actually sending armies to kill all these people. And I think at one point she kind of called him out on it, like, oh, you killed my father and everything. And like Satan was just all like, oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't really know better, like I didn't understand what was going on. So
Yeah,
maybe it was just a big old misunderstanding, and maybe that's why they might get along better later.
I I feel like in the predicament he's in, he can now relate more with humans.
Yeah.
But like, I want to address Asael because he has a love interest, and it's Emmy's friend.
Yeah. I was actually rewatching the episode, and like I noticed that too. Like they I think they might have a thing. Like Emmy's friend and Asael, they might have a thing. They might have a relationship. So I think they're trying to hook everyone up.
Yeah,
But yeah, pretty much.
yeah, and she even said because uh I or the way he talks to her, I was like, oh man, this guy's being all hoity-toity with her.
Well,
Yeah,
I didn't really see it though. I thought he was just being nice. But then the way she reacted, that's when I was like, oh, maybe they have a thing. And the way she reacted was like, oh no, I'm fine. And yeah, also I love how they have the stuff they have in the show. They kind of have some what's it called, like some pop culture stuff. Like first of all, they have McDonald's and they have a KFC, but they name it SFC. And they
yeah,
also have like I think on one episode the guy was like, oh, I saw you on Twitter.
yeah.
Uh, uh,
And then every now and then you'll see Lucifer. He'll be playing on the internet buying video games, and he bought like a I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was definitely Demon Souls.
yeah.
It was something along that line, but you could tell that it was referencing Demon Souls, and I want to say Kingdom Hearts at one point, but I might be making that up.
Yeah, and he has a friggin' he also one episode was pretty much everyone, like he was tricking them into finding something spooky or whatever, but it turned out that they were just finding his PSP.
Yeah. He sends him to the school, and he's like, "Oh, sweet, it's still there. Pick that up."
And he kind of had some references to like the way people talk now as well. Like I think at one point he got food out of a refrigerator. He's like, I don't know if it's fine, but I'm gonna eat it. It's YOLO, right?
Yeah,
And what else? Oh, I think are they gonna have? They didn't really talk much or give a big backstory about Emmy's friend, right? They only kind of said like that she had a bad past,
yeah.
and like
Well, not a like more of a tragic past. She has a
yeah,
past to where she was in. Well, everyone knows. Well, not everyone. People should know that Japan is kind of plagued with a lot of earthquakes and
hmm
tsunamis, and she
hmm
was living in a town. I think it's actually a non-fictional town that was actually hit by a earthquake. I might be
hmm
wrong on that once,
yeah,
but that's her whole thing is that yeah, I survived this earthquake, but now I'm here. But
hmm
they didn't really elaborate any more on it.
yeah. Maybe they'll talk about some more. Maybe she'll actually be involved with the group because I think Shiho is the only one who knows like where they're actually from, and maybe Emmy's friend. I forget. I love how we keep on saying Emmy's friend. We don't
Yeah,
actually know her name, but maybe later on she'll know where everyone is actually from as well.
yeah. I'm sure that's one of those things that they just kind of left open for maybe they can explore in a later
Oh yeah.
storyline in a later season.
And also, did you think it was kind of weird how like in the open of the show it always showed Chiho doing some like she's shooting arrows with a bow, and you always see her practice it doing it in the opening. But when you get to but in every episode, they never really talk about that.
No, I was actually going to bring that up in the pre-spoiler segment, but I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't know if it would ruin anything. But yeah, that I was thinking that the same thing. I thought it was kind of weird that she was shooting an arrow, you know, and she so obviously she has the capabilities of defending herself, but the bitch don't want to.
Because every time I see that in the opening, I always thought, oh, she's gonna be a fighter. She's gonna like fight with them and protect her people or and herself and her friends and all that. But that never happens in any of the episodes.
No.
They never talk about it. She never comes close to the bow. Well, the only time she came close to the bow is like they actually show her shooting it is when like on the very last episode where they had like a montage of all the characters.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you also know, I don't know if you were paying attention, but her father is actually like a police commissioner or something like that.
I remember that.
Yeah, and which made me even more weirder because how come this guy isn't hassling Satan? Like, what? Why are you hanging around my 16-year-old daughter?
And what's weird is that their parents are totally okay with it. She even said that too.
Yeah. My parents are cool. They don't mind.
They don't know you're Satan. It's okay. They don't know that I'm crushing on you and you're like way older than me. It's cool. And in the opening also it shows her like crying, and I always wondered why she was crying on my bed. Like I thought it was like something dramatic, but like they never talked about that. Again, they never talked about it in the episodes.
Oh wait, what?
Like in the opening, I guess I'm looking too deep into this, but in the opening it showed her crying on the bed.
Yeah.
And I thought they were gonna talk about like why she's crying in the show, but again they didn't really talk about that.
Oh yeah. Well, should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up now. You have anything else to say about the show?
Okay, so would you skip it, stream it, or rent it? Or I mean, not rent it, buy it.
I think I would totally buy it because I'm really glad that we started this show, because like if we didn't start the show, I think when I saw it on Netflix, I think I would just pass it up. I don't think I would have watched it, but because you talked about it and talked about me watching, I was like, okay, I'll give it a try, and I really like the show. Like I love it.
Yeah, it's very off-putting because it kind of has I mean, people looking at the cover for it don't be off-put by it because it's like a guy wearing a cape with shoulder pads and it's in a fast fry food gear. Don't be off-put by that. But I say buy it.
Yeah.
Definitely buy it because it is a must for the collection.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool show, and like I hope they make a second season pretty soon. I didn't know that it was just it's actually like a brand new show, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. I thought it was like a show they had around for a while.
Yeah, it's brand new, or brand new to us stateside. We don't have the privilege or the luckiness or whatever. I know my speech is kind of deteriorating as we go along, but we don't have the
privilege to have
it over here as soon as they do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm Justin,
and this is Zan, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, the very first episode of Otaku Talk. If you've been watching this, leave a comment. If you watch the show, tell us what you feel about it. Like, do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you agree with what we said and everything? And also, feel free to leave some suggestions of what we should watch and what we should talk about and everything.
Yeah, and even expand on some of the points we talked or didn't talk on, because we'd love to hear your theories. And your ideas on the anime.
Yeah, totally. Well, again, I hope y'all have a great time and take care.
All right, see ya.